and welcome back to this Return to Wellbeing series. My name is Taylor Staines and I'm from the Active Harbour team at Harbour District Council. I'm here with co-presenters Hussein Khan and Jake Patoni from the South Leicestershire School Sports Partnership.
Hi, I am Jake and I'm the Health and Wellbeing Officer at the Learning South Leicestershire School Sports Partnership. The Return to Being podcast series will focus on supporting children's mental health needs as lockdown is gradually lifted and they return to school. In today's episode, we'll be talking about eating habits and how nutrition can support your well-being.
Hi, I'm Hussein. I am the Development Manager at the Learning South Leicestershire School Sports Partnership. I would like to welcome our very special guest today, Keris, who is the Senior Weight Management Dietitian at Public Health Leicestershire County Council. So, Keris, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
Hi, so my name's Keris. Like you said, I'm a weight management dietitian. I work with both adults and children to try and develop healthy eating habits and a healthy lifestyle. Thank you for having me on your podcast today.
So what is an eating habit?
So an eating habit encompasses a lot of different aspects of our eating, such as when we eat, what we eat, who we eat with. It includes how people obtain, store and use their food. And many aspects can affect our eating habits. So for example, social influences, cultural practices and religious practices as well as your economic status, your environment and political issues around food. So lots of different things can affect eating habits. And obviously these can be changed by people if they want to become healthier.
Lovely. So what would you say is a bad eating habit?
So in terms of eating habits, you can have eating habits which are slightly more healthier eating habits and those which are less healthier. So for example, some less healthier eating habits might be relying on lots of high fat, high sugar foods, whereas eating more, fruit and vegetables, eating your different food groups from your Eat Well guide is more following in a healthier eating habit.
What are the effects of a bad eating habit?
So unhealthy eating habits can not only affect our physical health, they can also affect our mental well-being as well. So we need to think about the quantity of food we eat. So if we eat too much, this can lead to obesity and a number of health problems associated with that. But also if we're not eating enough, that can lead to malnutrition. So it's about how much food we're eating, but also what sorts of foods we're eating. So the different food groups, so lots of fat and lots of sugar in the diet have been associated with health conditions such as cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes and certain cancers. We also know that vitamins and minerals play a really important role in our mood and our mental health. So making sure we have all of those important food groups such as fruits and vegetables, whole grain carbohydrates, proteins and healthy fats in our diet, as well as dairy foods, is really important for general health and well-being.
Okay, that's good to know. So what can be done to improve bad eating habits?
So if you want to become healthier and change your eating habits, my advice to you would be to get some reliable information from some reliable information sources such as the NHS website, the Change for Life website as well is a really great source of nutrition information. And also to focus on just one thing at a time rather than making lots of different changes all at one time, which could be quite overwhelming. Try and just focus on one simple change that will improve your eating habits. You could also get friends and family involved with this, and even school teachers who might want to support you and can help you do this. And you could even try and get them on board so they can change their eating habits and become healthier too.
Brilliant. Some really good ways to improve eating habits there. We actually have a student question. And the student question is, my eating habits are all over the place. How can I get back into a routine?
Okay, so I'd say for that, definitely planning is a great way to get back into a usual routine and to stay on track. So make sure you're planning in your 3 meals a day and some healthy snacks around that you're likely to stick to. If you're forgetting meals or forgetting to eat snacks, using things like a calendar or diary or even a reminder on your smartphone just to tell you it's time to have a healthy snack now or a healthy meal. Then you're more likely to stay on track. It's also a great idea to have those healthy foods in the house so that you're more likely to choose those over sort of your processed snacks and high sugar, high fat foods. So making sure you've planned a list which you've got all those healthy foods present in your house.
That's great. We've got another student submission here. And what the student said is I know food is good for me and makes me feel good, but sometimes it's easier to just snack. How can I stop this?
Okay, so snacking isn't necessarily a bad thing. As long as you're having your healthy meals as well as some healthy snacks, then that's a really good meal pattern to form. So when you're thinking about snacks, thinking about what snacks are going to give you those beneficial nutrients. So a lot of snacks nowadays, like chocolate crisps, biscuits, can be quite high in fat and sugar. So trying to think what snacks you could go to that are going to give you more beneficial nutrients like fruits, vegetables, dairy products that are going to benefit your body. For example, having a fruit bowl at home that's always full, that's going to make it more tempting to choose a piece of fruit as a snack rather than those chocolates and biscuits that can be really tempting to us. So thinking about planning, like I said before, and planning what you're going to have and having those nutritious foods to hand throughout the day.
Brilliant. So our last question is, what advice will you give to your children, young people and adults, to help them develop healthy eating habits?
So a great place to start is the Eat Well Guide, and you can find this on the NHS website as well as Change for Life. And this is just a visual picture of what everyone should be eating for overall general health and well-being, and it highlights the proportions of the different food groups and some ideas there. So that's a great place to start. And if you want to make changes, try and get your whole family involved. Try and get your friends, your siblings on board and do it together. This support will be really invaluable and help you to succeed in any changes that you want to make. And like I said before, don't change too much at one time. Focus on something small that's realistic and you're able to change. And then you're more likely to form that into a habit. And habits can take a few weeks to embed in your eating pattern. So persevere with those and keep going with it. Even if you don't see results straight away, it's great to keep going with that for health benefits. Also, if you feel that you might be concerned about how your eating habits are affecting your general health and well-being, then please get in touch with your doctor, your GP, or your school nurse who may be able to provide you with some extra help with that. And lastly, there are lots of really great resources online, like I said before, the NHS website, Change for Life, but also the Leicestershire Weight Management website, which is www.leicestershirewms.co.uk, and there's not only resources on there for children and teenagers but also adults as well, so resources on there for your whole family.
That's brilliant. Well, thank you for talking to us today, and thank you for listening to this episode in this series. If you have any questions about anything we have discussed, please comment below. Ta-da!